like a hybrid that came out of that, because, you know, your interest as an artist always shifts from day to day, but some motives, some topics are constantly bugging you. And in this one, that just done recently, I was using ink for the first time after years and years and years, and I was thinking about it as a liquid charcoal, because it is liquid charcoal, nothing else. If you wet the charcoal, you get ink. That's the same thing. So, but the liquidity of the charcoal gives you a completely different sensation, and suddenly you are dealing with the tools like brushes and things that are intermediating. You're mediating, you know, and it's a question now how far you let the brush be your guide, and what brush do you need, and blah blah blah. So, but the effects that I got there were kind of seductive, and I think that I'm after something here. I'll see what happens. At the same time, I was trying to work with, let's say, the drawing as a performance, the drawing as a activity. You know, lots of coffee, lots of background music. I like the drum and bass when I work, and kind of in the background, you know, LJ Bakker and those people. And I sense that there's some energy that comes from the environment that fed my own energy, and these drawings are really like a performative. I could make a video of them, but I didn't, unfortunately. So this presentation is a good reminder for me to say, oh my goodness, I can better document my own work and make it more even visible. But the point here is like the action, the performance, the presence of the artist. What Marina Abramovic will say, you know, the artist is present. You really have to be there, and you are negotiating the momentum, and it's all happening at the same time. There is no mistake. You cannot go back and forward, and this is what happens. The spaces of started articulating some new spaces. The networks appeared. The connections of some weird kind of constructions, and of course, I was reminded that I am a kind of unresolved architect. That I wanted to be an architect, and I will never be an architect. But you know, why not? Why not to draw like an architect? So I allowed myself to do something about architecture that is pure blasphemy for architects. So architects, when they make a building, they think about shape, form, standards. They put this building in the Grand Island or Dubai or anywhere, you know, they put it. I said, no. I want to make this constructions not to put them, not as a form, but I want them to be formed by the space. I want them to appear on the space, driven by the events of the space itself. And you know what you can find on space? Vapors, humidity. The air moves. So why not to make an architecture that is made out of humidity? Why not to make an architecture that's made out of gravity and magnetic forces? Right? Why not to make it out of collisions of sounds, waves, I don't know, winds. So all these elements, temperature, things are moving and constantly creating something, and I was thinking like that could actually form the building. So that's why I say it's like a blasphemy for architecture, because it's like rejecting making architecture. It's like making architecture itself. And I really have to remove myself, my ego, from the equation. I have to let things happen, and it's not easy because everyone wants to sign the building, right, or sign the contract. So it's weird how these things appear in front of my own eyes, and I believe that that's the thrill of my own creativity. That I never know what's going to happen when I start a piece, and I'm witnessing something that appears in front of my eyes. So it's like, as you can see here, from colliders to architecture, from void to objects. And then I did a couple works of large format because the small ones are like 1 inch, and I have a drawing that is now grow up 1,500 square feet, one drawing. It's big enough to fill up the space, entire space. And but I'm not showing that one. I'll show you a couple other works that really they present all kinds of interests that accumulated during 10 years. And of course, this all comes from search and research, from all kinds and interests of all kinds. And these are the pieces that I did. And I put here that these two people, just to give you a reference to a size, how big they are. They're all the same. I have only these two now. But what happened here in this particular drawing, for example, I was very, very happy with it because how to represent visually what you think, right? And this one really kind of represented this matrix that you encounter as soon as you have this digital dream, as soon as you kind of dream coming out of the and the ultimately when you resolve this kind of unresolved polarization between virtual and real, and this is the meeting, the merging. And of course, the new concept that comes from here are just going to happen for me are the combination of drawing and digital projections and going back and forward between digital and hand many, many times. So drawing on digital print, projecting, going back and forward as many times as you want. So at the end, I think that these are the outcomes of the research that I did. The perception, my perception has been moved because I can see the world through prosthetics, through machines that I would never able to see before. Posthumanism, I realized that I don't want anthropocentric perspective. I don't want to see the world from one point of view. I want to see it from polycentric, from everywhere. Post-analytical, I don't believe in division of analytical cuts and cutting a piece of a plant and putting it under a microscope, you have to kill something before analyzing it. So I said, well, why don't we synthesize? Post-disciplinary, in a sense, I believe more in collaboration and comparative kind of way of collaborating than in disciplines that end up, as we know them, as we see them today, ending up in the dead end of knowledge. Post-informational because data are materialized. Data have a chance to become a reality. Post-logical because the thinking is non-linear. It cannot be ever logical, not in the sense that we translated Aristotle. And post-consciousness because division of consciousness and cognitive thinking never worked properly, and I think that it's a time to be more transparent.